Say it with me, for we walk by faith, not by sight. Hey guys, welcome to Cheap Old Cars and Corners. Today's video is going to be about cars, but it's going to be about projects. We're working on projects. So if you've never seen my channel before, check this out real quick. I need your help. I need your opinion, whether you've seen the channel or not. We're going to look at 5 pictures, and of these 5 pictures, we're going to decide a color to paint some stuff. So let's look at the pictures, and first off, picture number 1 is a Corvette Z06, and as you can see, it is a pretty dark blue. This is a GM or Chevy Electron blue. Picture 2 is a Mistachrome Cobra, and Mistachrome is the same. I've got this Mistachrome bumper back over here. It does blue, green, and purple. Our third color is Sonic Blue, which I really like. Sonic Blue is a good color. Our fourth color is Azure Blue from the Mach 1s. It's cool. I don't know. It maybe is a little too bright, and I'll show you why it might be too bright in just a second. And number 5 is True Blue. Now I have a True Blue Bullet. It's one of my favorite cars ever. It was a dream car. I wanted one for a long time. True Blue is a pretty color if the sun hits it right, and it's like, let's say, evening sun, and you've got some dust in the air, and the sun's reddish. You know, you get more of those reddish hues in the sky. True Blue can actually take on like a purple color. It's really cool. And then, man, if the sun's high in the sky and it hits the car just right, it almost looks like it's fluorescent blue. It's like glowing. It's like a dark glow. It's weird. It's a really cool color, but a lot of the times it just looks like kind of dark blue, and it doesn't show up that great in pictures. So right now, I'm thinking about the GM Electron Blue or the Mistachrome. Mistachrome is going to cost about twice as much to paint as the GM color. Now let me show you what I'm going to paint. Okay, you're back with me here. We're not looking at pictures anymore. I put one of my videos up too where I was painting this bumper. It came Mistachrome. This is a factory Mistachrome bumper, crash bumper, right? And so it was back behind everything, and it didn't get clear coated. And so all the factory Mistachrome paint was on there. Just on the front. You can see on the side here it's like gray from the primer, but the factory Mistachrome paint was on the front, and then I clear coated it like 5 or 6 coats, and it does all the flip-floppy color. It's really cool. I love Mistachrome. But okay, so what we're going to paint. There's a reason I might not do Mistachrome. There's a reason I might go back towards the darker blue. We're going to paint, back over here, some speakers. Not these speakers. We're going to paint, let me get one here, one of these Sony speakers. I've already painted them a blue color, as you can see. There we go. And obviously there you saw some imperfections there. I had a sag in the paint that needs to get sanded out. But painted in this blue color, it's a pretty color. These speakers don't have a lot of bass, but they are a good, clear sounding speaker. It's the Sony SSCS5, if you want to know. Some people like them, some people don't. They're okay. And what I have them here is, you can see back over here, there's like my PS5 now. There used to be a PS4, but I got a PS5 because my PS4 broke. My PS3. And then there's a Sony receiver, my N64, and that's my motherboard right there from my PS5, or sorry, from my PS4. Now my PS4, let me show you if I bring in, here's stuff we're going to be getting to in just a minute. This was my PS4, and I still have the body and the controller. Here's the hard drive cover. I kept the hard drive, I kept the outside body, and I kept the controller. That way, because I really... I like video games. A lot of people, play video games or whatever. Like racing games, Gran Turismo, I play a bunch. A lot of Minecraft with my son, too. But anyway, and so, I really like, back to the cars thing, I like the special editions of basic cars. I like special editions of basic things. And so the Days of Play Blue PS4 I thought was just really cool. And I snagged one when they came out new. And eventually, about 2 years ago, I had some disk drive failures with it, and I'm fairly handy and fairly mechanical, and I can take things apart and work on them and fix them. And so I took it apart, and I checked out the disk drive, and everything was functioning inside of it. And even there's 2 little switches that get hit by a moving arm. It kind of comes down and then tags 2 switches. I checked those with my multimeter, and they were both functioning properly. And so then it's like, okay, well, the only other thing it can be is a ribbon cable is messed up, or there's a fuse on the circuit board, on the motherboard, that's blown. And so I started taking things apart a little bit more, and as I was doing that, I found broken brackets and other things inside the PS4. Now the body of it was fine, but there was it got jostled in shipping, I'm assuming, pretty hard. And so there was some broken things inside of it, and as I'm taking it apart, there's like some brackets and stuff falling out of it. Now when you take a PS4 apart, there's the little bracket on the downside, and I can actually show you right here. There's a little bracket on this side that bolts to this stand if you get the vertical stand, and that bracket can that little black bracket, it can fall out when you take one of these things apart, the PS4 Slim. And then on the other side up here, there's a little metal tab that sticks down, and it just transfers heat from one place to another, or helps transfer heat, and it can fall out too. I had like 5 little bracket things fall out of mine, and a couple of them were very obviously broke, where screws were supposed to hold stuff down to other larger frame pieces inside of it. There were things broke off of it, and so I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, well, I mean, here's one online on GameStop for $200. I can find these again for about $200 on eBay, the blue ones, or I can get a black one. It's the same thing, right? I can get a black one and swap all the internals into my body. The body of them comes off real easy without having to take apart a bunch of stuff. And so I'm like, okay, well, I can either one of those, about $200. And then I was talking to my wife. There's a local electronics store here in town that can fix these things. I was talking to her, and we agreed that would probably cost as much or more to fix it than it would be just to buy another one. So I kept the body, kept my hard drive, which is here. Here's the hard drive. Let me make me bigger again. I finally figured out how to get me full screen without having the black bars on the side too, by the way, which is really cool. Toshiba hard drive that was in it. This is a mechanical hard drive. In my other PS4 that's in our living room, we play games. We like to, like, me, my wife, and my son, we all get on Minecraft together. And so we got, there's at one point there were 3 PS4s, but now we've got 2 PS5s, a PS4. I think there's 2 Xbox One S. I think that's what it is. I can't ever keep up with the Xbox names. And I got those because the Xbox would play 4K discs and the PS4 wouldn't. And so the Xboxes were a cheaper way than buying a 4K player for me to watch 4K movies. I like physical media too. So, hard drive, and then the body for it. I'm not going to show you guys the body, but the body's over there. All that stuff aside, you can see the color of it. It's a darker blue. And the speakers, let me pull one back up. Man, they're kind of heavy for one hand. The blue I picked is pretty dark in the shade, right? But you see when the light hits it, I mean, this is a little bit of an off light, but when the light hits it, sunlight, whatever, it's quite a bit brighter. It looked good in the shade, but yeah, quite a bit brighter than what I wanted. So help me pick a color. And what I'm going to paint is those speakers, and then I'm going to paint the PS5. Let me show you guys real quick. Yeah, these panels. All the panels of a PS5 come off, right? And so they're made to be customized, and so I'm going to paint all of that a color. These 2 speakers, which will replace these bigger clip speakers over here. These clip speakers will actually be the rears in a 5.1 surround sound in another room. The PS5 will paint the Sony receiver right here. The face will stay black, but the body of it that goes around, it's already blue. I'm going to paint it the same color as well as everything else. And then obviously there's one more speaker. You can kind of see the side of it there. And all of that stuff will be painted. And then I still really want to find I want to find one of the blue PS3 Slims, because I got that black PS3 Slim there. But I don't want to pay what they cost working. So I'm hoping I can find a broken Gran Turismo Special Edition PS3 that was in a good blue. There were a few different variations of the blue. But if I can find one of those, I will swap that body onto all these internals of this one, and then everything will be blue, including the dresser, which I like. That's pretty cool. And so, yeah, that's a project that I'm trying to work on, and I'm not sure what I want to do. Now, right now I said, Mistachrome would be really fun. Enough Mistachrome just for the panels of the PS4 is like $100 to $150. You got to spray it black first, and then the Mistachrome pigment, and then anything I do is going to get cleared. Really done really well, and so it gets expensive. And I'm using for clear, I will use Spray Max. I like to use Spray Max for the color as well, but if I have to do like the Duplicolor paints that are like matching your car paints and stuff, there's a problem with those in that they're a lacquer paint, and the Spray Max clear is a urethane, and they don't really stick together, right? And so, like, if you paint your mirrors with the Duplicolor little cans you get from the auto parts store that matches your paint color, and then Spray Max 2K clear over it, which is a really hard clear, as soon as you get a chip in it of any kind, it will start spreading. because those two types of paint don't really stick together. And you can sand your base coat, your color coat a bit. You can sand it with 1,000 or 2,000, probably 2,000, to give it a little something for the clear to hold on to, but it doesn't really adhere like it should. So if I can use all of the same types of paint, all of the same urethane paint from the same company, it'll stick together better and it'll hold up. Having said all that, it doesn't really matter because this stuff's just going to be in here on a shelf. So, you know, if I end up having to do the duplicolor thing for the color, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. So kind of, I don't know, I'm back and forth on it. I was thinking maybe do all of the stuff in blue, but with like a Mr. stripe that goes up over each speaker, across the PlayStation, across the receiver, and up and over the other speaker. You know, then just, you know, kind of take some measurements, figure out where I'm going to put stuff first, and then line, you know, get it all, do the stripe, measure it out, and so it would just be like they'll line up across all four things. That'd be pretty cool. But what I might end up doing, and because I am going to want to get that blue special edition PS4 back up and running by putting my body onto another set of internals, or just buying another blue one eventually. So at that point, the PS5 might actually stand up, and then the PS4 would stand up beside it. And I put the TV up high enough to be above those speakers or stand up consoles or whatever I want to do there. And in that case, then the line of stuff of Misty-Chrome over things wouldn't work out very well. So kind of what I'm thinking is maybe just Misty-Chrome the PlayStation 5, and then do the blue on everything else. I'm not sure. Kind of what I was originally thinking was like the Sonic blue or the Electron blue on this speaker and the PS5, and then this one, the receiver and that speaker get like a different azure blue or the true blue or something. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. You know, I can paint things. I can do the striping, lay out flames and different things. I've done all this stuff in the past. I just haven't done it much lately. So you let me know what you think, because I can do whatever, and it'll be fun. These speakers come apart easy and all that. So that'll be a fun thing to do. Like one day when the garage is in the 60s, but it's like in the 20s or 30s outside, I can move cars out and get the garage heated back up, and then do some spraying in there. Okay, so that'll be this one. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and come back for more car stuff, more paint and projects. And some videos I'll be teaching, some videos I'll be talking about projects, and some videos will actually be doing the projects. And then obviously my favorite videos to make is when I go out driving with cameras all over and all that. I love those, but kind of cold and crappy right now, so I can't make any of that stuff. See you guys in the next one.